Hello to Division III colleagues and friends. My name is JJ Neckloff. I'm the Associate Commissioner of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. And today we have something very special for you today. We're joined by Louise McCleary from NCAA Division III. Louise, how are you today?
I'm doing well, JJ. It's terrific to see you virtually. And as you mentioned, happy Tuesday.
Thank you very much. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Let's go ahead and hop right into this here, Louise, as we're talking a little bit about the officiating project that has been spearheaded by the DIIICA in Division III. And even though we're all trying to work to get back onto the field, given our COVID environment and whatnot, or into our athletic arena, if you will, there's still things that we have to tackle. Sportsmanship, championships, that sort of thing. And one of those other concerns we have is officiating, maybe some of the pools that's surrounding with that, and how we can help out the long-term health and growth of our officiating pools for all our sports. There's a new report that's being put together by the DIIICA and the Picture Group, and a summary of that has been presented to Management Council. Talk a little bit about your reactions to that, maybe the reaction from NCAA Division III Management Council, and maybe some association-wide governance pieces here that you kind of see as a high point for this.
JJ, I'm happy to, but first I want to start with a huge thank you to the Division III Commissioners Association for being the first to not only identify the officiating crisis, but spearheading this comprehensive research study with the Picture Group. The data in the recently released report, the long version, or the executive summary, is excellent. It provides a roadmap to allow for the development of a comprehensive strategic plan. So as you know, and as the Division III membership knows, championships is a key component of the NCAA. And we want to have a first-class experience with our championships. And to get that, a big part of it is officiating. And as you know, for our national championships, we get to pull from across the country for those NCAA national championships. But this crisis that's hitting Division III, it's hitting our conference offices, it's hitting our institutions, will eventually also impact our national championships. So we have been following very closely to what the DIIICA has been doing with the Picture Group and that release. Just last week, our Management Council had an opportunity to review that executive summary. They got to see that, and they're actually really looking forward to the next step in the strategic plan of how that lays out. And so they're very engaged, and they're here to collaborate with the DIIICA in this project.
What do you think is, talk a little bit about Division III spearheading this. Again, you kind of let into that a little bit here, so I'm going to jump around on you some. Talk a little bit about maybe the importance of that and what you feel like, that could kind of help out with this, given that Division III is the largest of all divisions. Maybe it has touch in a little bit more in depth from all areas of the country. How important is that, do you think, that Division III is leading the charge?
JJ, it's terrific that Division III, especially, we have a pandemic, we have social unrest. There's so much going on, and yet they have stayed the course. They have stayed the course to say, this is a crisis. It's not a crisis today. It's been a crisis for a while.
Right.
And so I'm appreciative of that. Does it matter that it's Division III is the largest division? Officials are in all three divisions. And
right.
I commend the DIIICA for their work to say, we don't want to do this alone. We need to bring our Division I and our Division II colleagues along. We need to have the NCAA involved. And so congratulations to them for reaching out to the NCAA. I know my colleagues in the playing rules oversight area, as well as championships, have been collaborating. They follow the lead of the Division III, the Division III Commissioners Association, and they also hired the Picture Group to do an association-wide study. So I just believe that what I saw first glance of the results, that this will allow for a strategic plan over the next many years. It won't be resolved tomorrow, but if you have the roadmap, they'll be able to find solutions.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's the main key here, is that creating that strategic plan. I know it's only the summary that's been out there a little bit, but maybe a couple areas or maybe just a generalized perspective on this. But what most piques your interest about what you're able to see from that report?
That's right. So one, they ended up with having 3 recommendations. So I think in terms of the leadership, finding ways to say we need to do this at a national level, the strategic alliances, the ability that you have to collaborate. Again, it's not, officials don't exist only in Division III. They exist across the entire association. But what is really interesting to me is that the study came out and said, you know what, we're not treating our officials very well. There needs to be a higher level of respect and a higher level of sportsmanship in that space. As you know, Division III, we have put a lot of time and energy into developing Game Day the D3 way. And I think there's some opportunities to collaborate in that one particular space. That's, again, it's just one component of the entire report. So I'm interested really to see about that. But also, as I mentioned, the other areas about the national, sort of having a national program, as well as developing those strategic alliances.
You know, and as we wrap up here, we've kind of touched on each of the pieces, but you talked about Game Day the D3 way, and now we've got this report, the first of its kind, kind of daunting like that. Just talk a little bit about, in maybe in generalities, with just the pride that you have and the work that you've been able to do with the national office, you and your colleagues, with Dan Dutcher, and then leadership like the D3CA, like some of our management council people, like the President's Council, just the things that Division III has been able to put its teeth into and really lead the way on this one that hopefully has a little bit of a trickle-up effect, if you let me create my own word, if you will.
Sure. I love it, JJ. You know, at the end of the day, I am D3. I love Division III, and really what I love about it is there's a commitment, there's a passion, there's a willingness to identify issues from the membership and then say, I'm not going to just identify the issue, I want to find a solution. And so I think Dan, myself, the rest of the governance team, we are so thankful for that consistent communication, that collaboration to say, how can we make Division III better? And over the past couple of years, based on feedback we've heard either directly from the membership, from commissioners, from our councils, from our committees, we've been able to initiate some new resources, some programs that I think are having a direct and positive impact on Division III. So I'll finish by saying I can't be more thankful for the work that the Division III Commissioners Association has done in this space. Again, not just finding the issue, but finding ways to come up with the solutions to that issue.
Well, I think the communication piece is important. We're going to continue to do that and bring more features like this and with the podcast that we've got going on, and really kind of try to inundate is the wrong word, but just inform. Make sure everybody's informed about what's going to happen when this full report comes out NCAA convention time. So, Louise, I thank you very much for joining us, giving us your initial reactions to this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, JJ. It's great to see you, and I can't wait to see you in person.
Absolutely. Me too. I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of people in person. D3 friends and colleagues, stay tuned to our next communication. Have a great week.